The main speaker did bring a 10-minute speaker. That's me. I'm Sabrina, alcoholic. It's really nice to be up here. I haven't been up in this part of LA before. Been on the freeways going by, but I've never been on Rosecrans this way. I live in Vista, California, if you know where that is. You do? Yeah, that's pretty good. It's near Carlsbad, Oceanside, down in North San Diego County. I'll tell you, I'm real grateful to be sober, and I'm real happy to be a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, and those weren't two words I used when I got here. I wasn't grateful to be an alcoholic for sure, and I wasn't too happy about being here. I got sober October 4th, 1984, and in a few weeks I'll be 15 years sober, and I'll tell you what, every day, you know, that is a bloody miracle. If you had told me that 15 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. Not with the way I drank, not with the way I felt. I wouldn't believe that I could have stayed sober 30 days. And you know, today I can't stay sober 15 years. I can stay sober a day at a time. I can do that. With God's help, I can do that. And I believe that everyone else in here can do the same. And like I said, when I walked in here, I wasn't happy about being here. I didn't like any of you people. I didn't like any of your steps. I didn't like your traditions. I didn't like the fact that you prayed, and I really didn't like the fact that you talked about God. But the one thing you had to offer me was a little bit of hope, because I knew that given to just my own resolve, that I would be drunk and probably dead before I was 35. I was sure of that. And I was 26 years old when I came in here. In 10 minutes, I can't tell you my life story. I'm not even going to attempt to. I was real self-conscious when I got here. I would listen to these stories, and my husband's is one of them, that were just horrendous. They were colorful. They had all kinds of stuff. And I can tell you, my drinking days, by and large, were pretty boring. I was a closet drinker for the most part. The first few years, yeah, I drank when and where I wanted to, but as my alcoholism progressed, I was ashamed of what I had become, and I was a closet drinker. Consequently, I didn't get into too much trouble. I mean, I didn't end up in these rooms because I got a nudge from the judge, because my health had failed, because I was financially ruined. None of these things happened to me. And I heard all these stories about how and why we got here, and I thought that maybe I hadn't had a lot of stuff happen to me and I couldn't stay here. That I needed to have these horrible things happen in order for me to stick around. And, you know, the longer I've been sober and the more I've listened, the more I've realized that two things. First of all, it's not that outside stuff that matters. It's what's in here, how much I hurt. And the second thing was, if I choose, and it's a choice today, if I choose to go back out there, all those things are just yet waiting for me. I am no different than anyone else. As much as anyone else, I could end up in jail, prison, dead, insane asylum, and the list goes on. And I've come to believe that, and so I feel I earned my seat here. Just tell you a little bit about myself. I started drinking when I was 14. That's sort of like a magic age. I hear more people say they picked up their first drink at 14. And I'd been told about alcohol, you know, what to expect, how it would make me feel, and I was real excited. I grew up part of the time in Orange up until 1969, and I had some friends that were in a little faster crowd than I was with, and so we were going to go up and visit them, and they were going to get us drunk. And we went out one night in a friend's van, the drive-in theater, and we all started drinking Strawberry Boone Farm and some beer, and I don't know what else. And what I remember about that night, because I did black out the first time I drank, is that I was the first one drunk. I was the craziest. I mean, you took the short, shy kid, and I became a giant, flamboyant, the friendliest, talkative person in the world. I had no inhibitions, and I was free. And that was my first drink, and I loved it, and I vowed I'd do it again, and I did. I drank up until I was 26, and I didn't become a daily drinker. Most alcoholics don't. I managed to get through high school. I managed to get through college. Managed. And the day I graduated from college, I didn't think about the things that I could go out and accomplish. My only thought was, now that I don't have to study every night, I can drink every night, and that's exactly what I did. I drank for the next 3 years until I got sober, every day. Now, when I graduated from college, I knew at this time that I was an alcoholic. I had a very limited understanding of alcoholism, though. I didn't know that it was a spiritual, emotional, physical disease that was chronic and progressive and fatal. I had no idea about these things. All I knew is that I drank too much. But I did this up until October 4th, 1984. And like I say, I don't have an exciting story. You know, I cut my hand once, I broke a couple of ribs, I embarrassed myself many times, but nothing exciting. And the reason I share this, there's one reason. Before Kip and I were married, I was asked, I don't speak much, but I was asked to speak at this meeting, and he had been there the previous week, and I saw this, and I was just horrified because he has this really colorful story. And I thought, God, you know, they're not going to listen to me. After I got done speaking, this man called me the next week, and he says, you know, I heard this guy named Kip, and I didn't relate to him at all. I heard you, and I did. And that told me something. You know, we've all got different stories. We've got all different reasons for being here. And I need to hear myself say that because I need to remember that I have a perfect right to be in here. You know, you don't have to have all this stuff. So if there's somebody out there that hasn't had to go completely through the mill, you don't have to. Another thing I'd like to say before I wrap this up is my drinking consisted just of drinking. I didn't use drugs. And that's only important for me to say because when I first got here, people would say to me, well, if you're young, you use drugs. And I said, well, that's not true. I was 26 years old, and I was burnt out on alcohol. It completely wiped me out. I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown, I'm sure, with all the other stuff going on. I mean, when I got up in the morning and looked at myself in the mirror, I despised the person I saw. I saw pitiful, incomprehensible demoralization. I hated myself. So the idea that you have to get here young by using a combination of drugs and alcohol, you can throw that one out with the garbage. It's not that way, you know. And I was real angry when I got here because I thought, you know, these other people get to drink for years. And here I am, 26 years old, and I got to quit. I was real angry about that until one day it occurred to me that, you know, I'm the lucky one. I'm 26 years old. I don't have to waste my life. And it took a little bit of sobriety to come to that. But, you know, I feel real blessed. I feel real blessed that I've been able to stay here. And I believe that if I continue to do the things that I do on a daily basis, that I will remain here. I have faith in this program. As powerful as my disease is, I have faith that this program is more powerful than the disease of alcoholism. And I thank you for listening to me. And with that, let's see. I guess we do the 12 traditions.